Michigan rips. Imagine this. You enjoy riding your dirt bike through countrysides and woodlands in your spare time, far away from any towns or civilization. You expect to have some undisturbed fun, either alone or with friends. That's exactly who the operator of the YouTube channel Michigan Rips is, and normally that's exactly what the videos are about. But what would you do if suddenly and without warning a disheveled man appeared next to you? A person whose intentions you cannot interpret and who's on a path where you would never have expected to encounter anyone. That's exactly what happens in the following video.
What?
You ran into a truck at all?
Nope.
Explorer?
Nope.
If you do, can you I don't know, possibly turn around and try to find me? I'm going to be taking this trip.
Okay.
I appreciate it. I really do. I've been looking for 2 days.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're almost out to the road if you follow this trail.
Really?
Yep.
After this encounter, he was able to locate the man's supposed vehicle. In post-production, he shows a map of the path marking the position of the car with a yellow X and the position of the man with a green X. So, if the man had gone into the other forest entrance, he would only have had to walk half a mile to his car. And even if you can label the situation as the man getting lost in the forest while looking for his car, some things just don't add up. First of all, there is his appearance. According to his statement, he has been in the forest for 2 days. Why would anyone search for their car in a forest wearing skimpy clothing and no shoes? Why and how does he have a fresh cigarette in his hand after 2 days in the forest, and why isn't it already lit or long since smoked out if he has nothing else with him? Finally, there's the way he talks and behaves. Even if we assume that he has been in the forest for 2 days, it seems to me as if he's under the influence of certain substances. Of course, he will be lethargic and tired, but the subtle way he gestures or walks, staggering slightly, gives the impression of more than just fatigue. And why does he seem completely unimpressed by the fact that he has encountered another person, even though he must surely be thirsty and hungry? And he doesn't really ask for help, only whether Michigan Rips can return to the man to let him know when he finds the vehicle, instead of asking for further and more direct help. What makes the situation even stranger is that the car is right on the road, but why did he take the forest road in the first place? His vehicle is obviously too wide and not made for such roads. Besides, I don't understand why you would leave all the windows open. Isn't the first instinct when leaving your car to lock it securely, even in a place where there shouldn't be any people, but where animals could certainly nest? As you can see, the case raises a lot of questions that I unfortunately can't answer. But what I find most disturbing is that this scenario resembles something out of a horror movie. Because if a scruffy man stops you in a deserted forest, should you really stop and turn off your engine? My instincts and paranoia about the stranger's possible negative intentions would definitely have made me drive on. However, it's safe to say that even though the man may have been under the influence of substances and looked rather shady, he had no negative intentions, and Michigan Rips was able to help him in the end. There was no further information or a follow-up video about the incident, and since then, other videos have continued to be posted as normal. Between the trees. On June 2nd, 2024, the YouTube channel Sonny Vader uploaded a video showing a truck driver driving into a rural industrial site. We can see him turning and stopping in the square, but as he turns, a creature can be easily seen between the trees. At this moment, the truck driver does not seem to have noticed it and obviously only saw it when he got out of the truck. Only when he turns to the left does he seem to notice the creature and run to the side, getting back into his truck a few seconds later and driving away. According to the video description, the creature is about 10 feet or 3 meters tall, and muffled noises could be heard at the moment the driver noticed the creature. Now, all the skeptics will surely dismiss the video as fake, and before I give my opinion, I would first like to talk about the channel. The channel follows the same principle. In 11 videos, all of which went more or less viral, it's about an encounter or recording of Sasquatch, aka Bigfoot, aka a creature. Well, often such videos are cheap fakes or show more or less nothing relevant except for a few noises or very pixelated shadows somewhere in the forest in which one could interpret anything. But this channel does have relatively realistic looking videos. In this video, we clearly see a Bigfoot-like creature destroying trees and throwing them around. In this video, it just stands around for a while and then knocks over the camera. And in this video, we see the same creature walking around and then hitting a tree trunk with a branch and knocking down a plant with a broken piece. In our original video, we see a creature that looks very similar to the ones in the other videos. And I have to admit, the videos all look incredibly realistic and I don't know exactly how you could fake it. But what I noticed is that in the videos, not a single tree or plant moves in the wind. Only when the creature interacts with something are the reactions of the plants or trees realistic, but the rest of nature seems motionless. Even a light breeze should cause branches on trees or plants to move back and forth at least a little, but I couldn't observe anything like that. Personally, I believe that we are still dealing with fakes. Super realistic, but still artificial videos. I have to say that I don't believe in the existence of Bigfoot. There are certainly undiscovered animals living deep in uninhabited forests, but the destructive behavior of this creature makes absolutely no sense. The creature's appearance also looks very much like a man-made costume, even though it appears unnaturally large in the videos and seems to be strong enough to swing or destroy logs or trees. Alternatively, the videos could have been made with computer software such as Unreal Engine, which can create hyper-realistic scenes. But I'm curious to hear your opinion on this channel and the videos. I actually try to cover videos and topics that are as real as possible, but I find such exceptions incredibly fascinating because I can't really explain them myself. Rochelle-Fairdale Tornado. It is a stormy evening on April 9, 2015. An extremely violent tornado with winds of up to 200 miles per hour or 320 kilometers per hour is sweeping through the communities around Rochelle and Fairdale, Illinois, USA. This video was filmed by Clem Schultz, an 85-year-old man. It shows the exact moment when the tornado hits his home. However, the video starts a little over a minute before the event and literally in the calm before the storm. And just as the calm before the storm should be, in the first few minutes you can only hear Clem's nervous breathing and the otherwise quiet surroundings. As we watch the tornado move directly toward Clem, all we can hear is a dull roar and the occasional thunder from the nearby storm. To illustrate how powerful the tornado actually was, here's another video of what the tornado looked like from a safe distance. On the tornado strength scale, this is an EF4 tornado at the upper limit. In other words, EF5 is the highest level of tornadoes, which can be described as catastrophic and are already classified as the highest level at 200 miles per hour. And here we see from Clem's perspective what it can look like in the middle of one of the strongest tornadoes. In the moment of chaos, we see the area being ravaged and destroyed until the camera falls to the ground. However, the tornado can still be heard until it moves on a short time later. In the remaining minute, you can hear some movement, including crunching glass on the ground and other minor noises, probably caused by Clem or the wind. Fortunately, Clem survived with a compressed broken vertebra. Unfortunately, his wife Jerry Schultz and neighbor Jacqueline Closer were killed in the tornado. Clem's dog and cell phone were later recovered unharmed, and the video footage was subsequently published online and on television as a cautionary example. As a German who has never seen a tornado, I find that such a video is almost like a nightmare. I hope for everyone who lives in tornado danger zones and for everyone in general that you never find yourselves in such a situation. I've watched literally hundreds of tornado videos, and this one ranks right at the top. There has never been anyone film a tornado from this perspective and survive, including their camera. This is the most profound recording of a tornado approaching ever. It's a miracle that he survived this. Whiteeys Fishing near-death experience. On Whiteeys Fishing, we are usually taken on fishing adventures by Australian Whitey. He passionately documents his catches and shows us his adventures in first person and from a wide variety of locations. In the 50 or so videos, we see him either alone or with friends, happy and enthusiastic about his passion. But that was about to change with a video from May 16th, 2025. Together with his friends Jacob and Sam, he set out one day to go fishing on a rock. It should be mentioned that Whitey uploaded this video primarily for educational reasons, to show that this is something you should never do or imitate. Fishing on slippery and sharp rocks in bad weather with chaotic waves is extremely dangerous and should never be imitated. And we're about to see just how badly it can go. Because when Jacob was standing on the rock below and wasn't paying attention for a second, a wave pulled him into the water.
Oi, oi, oi! Don't! Fuck! He's in the water! He's in the water, bro! Oi, Reed! Dude, just try to swim towards us, bro! Oi, oi! Chuck us a pole. Oi, you just be on wave watch.
When the boys realized the seriousness of the situation, they didn't hesitate for a second and immediately tried to help Jacob out of the water. When Jacob was able to pull himself out of the water for a moment after a minute and hold onto the rock, another wave pulled him even further into the water and almost pulled Sam in after him. But this is where the real struggle began. The boys tried everything they could to help, but Jacob was swept further and further out to the sea. As the video is unedited, we see Jacob fighting against the waves for several minutes. 3 minutes after Jacob was swept into the water for the second time, Sam remembered that he had a longer rope with him. And that became a lifesaver, because within a minute, the boys managed to throw the rope to Jacob, who was able to catch it and pull himself up onto the rocks with the boys' help.
Go back. Go, get him, get good footing. Just hold on to this and let it ground you. Let it ground you. Go, stand on that. Stand on that.
Go.
Fuck.
Go.
Oi, dude. Just go, stand, have a quick, have a climb. Holy fuck. Get up. Holy fuck.
Anyone who has ever tried to swim in wild waves knows exactly how damn difficult and physically exhausting it can be. But Jacob had to do it all while wearing clothes that soaked up water and increased his body weight, which only made the whole thing even more difficult. In the end, Jacob reveals his superficial but numerous scratches and injuries on his knees, arms and stomach. Fortunately, none of them look serious, and the boys learned an important lesson that day. Namely, that your own life is much more important than catching fish in an extraordinary place. Laughing Alexa. It's 1 AM and you're getting a snack from the kitchen in the quiet of the night. But without saying anything and without any warning, the following suddenly happens.
Alexa, stop.
Out of nowhere, Amazon Alexa starts laughing. Although Alexa typically has a pleasant female voice and requires a voice command to make any sound at all, Alexa started laughing out of nowhere. Considering that it's 1 AM, the laughter is not only not feminine, but also sounds completely hysterical, as if you've just heard the best joke of your life. This situation is incredibly frightening. What doesn't make the situation any better is that after the man says,
Alexa, stop.
the laughter only gets louder and more hysterical. In fact, there is an explanation for this, because in March 2018, a common problem became known where Alexa accidentally understood "Alexa, laugh" due to background noise and thus started laughing out of nowhere for some people. But this is also where the problem lies. The Alexa problem was fixed by Amazon in the same year, shortly after it was discovered. From then on, the voice command was changed to "Alexa, can you laugh?" instead of "Alexa, laugh," and the responses to the laugh command were made more thorough to avoid such errors. However, the video we just saw was recorded in 2019, more precisely in April 2019, a year after the problem occurred and was fixed. And that makes the video, frankly, even more disturbing. But it must be emphasized that technology is always prone to errors. With a lot of imagination, the noises the man made at the beginning can sound similar to "Alexa, laugh" or "Alexa, can you laugh?" Of course, it must also be said that we do not know what happened before the recording and that the video may have been faked. Perhaps the man gave his Alexa a voice command with a timer shortly before, which would explain the delay. And even though I deal with scary videos and topics, if something like that had happened to me and my Alexa had started laughing hysterically behind my back at 1 AM, I probably would have wet myself screaming. I have no idea how this man managed to stay so calm. But in the end, he wrote the following in his video description, which at least sums up the case somewhat. Early Sunday morning at almost 1 AM, I was in the kitchen getting a snack. All of a sudden, one of my Alexas started creepy laughing at me. I said, "Alexa, stop," and it wouldn't. And it even got worse. Nobody in the house was awake. I didn't talk. No reason for this to happen. I still get shivers down my spine thinking about it. I have it connected to my Wacecam and I'm wondering if somebody was watching me. Only the Alexa in the room I was in started laughing. I looked at the camera a couple times because of feeling watched. I have my network very secure. Finally, I just unplugged it. Hurricane Ike. You have booked a relaxing vacation at a hotel that you have been looking forward to for a long time. Unfortunately, your vacation is disrupted one day by a severe hurricane that hits your vacation destination. As you make your way to the 11th floor of the hotel, you are not sure whether you are caught in a scene from a horror movie, experiencing a nightmare, or if you are actually on vacation. This scene took place in 2008 during Hurricane Ike. Randy Flinders recorded this video on the 11th floor of a resort hotel in the USA. At that moment, the hurricane was passing directly over the hotel building and was blowing at speeds of up to 145 miles per hour. This also explains the noises, because while the visuals are already scary enough, the sounds caused by the hurricane are the icing on the cake. You know, something about this is so deeply unsettling on a primal level. When I clicked on this video, I didn't expect the sounds to be this scary. This could be put on a horror movie scene and it wouldn't make any difference.